Hello, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another special edition of the Countdown to Edo 2024. What is this show about? It's a show where we're going to take a look at the candidates, what they stand for, what the election is. Are we expecting a peaceful election? Is it going to be bloody? Is it a deciding election? How can we use this to shape a better Nigeria? In fact, or prepare ourselves for the 2027 presidential elections, which is around the corner. I believe it's around the corner. And this is what I love about democracy. There's always a time for reckoning. The time for Edo State is now. And today, I'll be rubbing minds with one of the political parties. You might not hear of them always, but I'm interested in this party because they call themselves the African. It is the AAC and has a lot of. So I'm going to let them introduce that. You know, it's quite interesting to see that. That a political party in Nigeria is thinking of Africa as at large and perhaps the black race. This is the important thing for me. For me as a Pan-Africanist, I am fighting for the liberation of the black world, not liberation in terms of fighting, not physical fight, but I'm looking for a world where the black man have a place in wealth creation. And it can only start from Africa because that's our home. And Nigeria happens to be the number one black race on earth, the number one black nation on earth. We are 300 and something million people. So if we're going to succeed, if the black man going to succeed, they're going to start from there. And it's nice to see there's a political parties in Nigeria now identifying with that kind of vision, which is the vision of Kwame Nkrumah and the founding fathers of Africa. They couldn't arrive at African Union then. They came with Organization of African Unity, for those of you who are history students. Today we have African Union. Why did they move from Organization of African Unity to African Union? That's a good topic for a good day. But that show will come on another day. But today, I have a very handsome young man. I can tell you he's handsome indeed. He'll be joining me to talk about what their party have to offer for the people of Edo State. Should they win the election? And I think I find that always interesting. Like I said, he's cool. He's cool. He's cool. All I can say, he's cool. Let's welcome Dr. Hafiz Lawal. Doctor, good morning and welcome to SRTV Countdown to Edo 2024. As I can see, I know you're going to introduce yourself a little bit more. As I can see, you are Dr. Hafiz Lawal, AAC Campaign Director General, Edo State. And I want you to tell us what the AAC stands for, what your political party stands for, before we even get into this debate. Introduce yourself, sir.
Good morning, viewers and listeners. I am Comrade Dr. Lawal Hafiz. I'm the immediate past chairman of AAC, that's the African Action Congress, Edo State chapter, and the current campaign director general AAC governorship election 2024. Good morning and thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you very much, Doctor. As you know, the election is heating up. It's a few days from now. And here we're talking about African Action Congress. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
You guys happens to be not on the loud. We don't hear much about you people. Why? Sometimes we hear APC, we hear the PDP, we hear the Labour Party, thanks to Peter Obi. But how come that we don't hear much about the AAC? That's one thing. Is it because you have a different campaign strategy, or what are the limitations?
Yes, I want to say that your position might not be true.
Okay.
And I also want to say that AAC is one of the most popular party in Nigeria as we stand today.
Okay.
I know majority of you will say is Showore party.
Yes.
But when I talked about Showore is the founder of AAC, of the party. Of course, Showore is more popular than PDP and APC combined. popular than Labour Party combined.
Yes.
So I want to say that AAC is the only revolutionary movement, and I can say that there is a kind of a gang up against the party
Okay.
because our ideology, is what is unsettling and is actually putting the government into a panic. That's why there is a little gang up against our party. And I
Of
can
course.
assure that our party is well positioned to liberate Nigeria and Africa at large. We are starting from Edo State 2024. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
And that's very good. Now we know AAC, we are associated with Sowore. Sowore is an activist, we all know him, and he's a presidential candidate and the founder of this beautiful party,
Very well.
AAC, African Action Congress. Could you tell us a little bit about your manifestos? What the party stands for? Let's start from there. So that before we bring it
In 2024,
I'm saying, what
our
does your
party,
party stand for? What's your ideology in terms of what are you saying to Nigerians? I know you talk about revolution, but what is the mission of this party? What are you out to tell us, Nigerians? That
the mission of our party, AAC, as the only, I quote, as the only revolutionary party, is not just a party, but a movement that is set to liberate Nigeria. Of course, when Nigeria is liberated, Africa at large is liberated. And I can say that our party is the only people's party, the party for the people, the party for the common man.
Okay.
Our manifesto, our ideology, borders across economy, social welfare, people, sports, health, education.
Doctor, just
And
before
what
I
are they?
cut you there, Doctor, before I cut you, you talk about liberating the Nigerian people. What does that mean to the layman terms? We never say liberate. I mean, sometimes, why are you going to liberate us?
The Nigerian people are suffering as we speak. The Nigerian people is stricken by poverty, and that is a weapon that our rulers, our current rulers, used in
Prisoners. Yes.
stripping us
Yes.
to make sure that we don't talk. Take a look at what happened in 2023 general elections. We saw a lot of we saw how money were shared for voters, how people were induced to vote. That is the level that shows the level of poverty we have in this country, Nigeria. So you can see we need people-oriented political movements like AAC to liberate, to educate, to orient the mass majority of Nigeria, to tell them that this is what it is. As we speak, Nigeria is one of the best and the wealthiest country in the world. But because we have maladministration, we have riffraffs of these resources. That is why you see that Nigeria is getting dilapidated day in, day out. So our party is geared up to take over the mantle of leadership in few years to come and liberate this country. Liberating this country means that the people must liberate themselves. That is why we, as a party, we are the only one speaking, organizing, agitating, protesting, and standing up against the Nigerian, government. You get it? So that is the starting point of our liberation, our moves to liberate the Nigerian people. First, to educate them. Secondly, to have us stand up against those or the things that has prevented Nigeria from growing. I think on the road to liberate Nigeria, there are a lot of sacrifices to be made, and it must start with the Nigerian people.
Wonderful. So let's come down. I agree with you that poverty has been used to cage us or to imprison us, and we need to get out of it. And whether the leaders of today agree or not, we are all crying there's poverty in Nigeria, and we are a rich nation. Nobody can deny that. So, and if you guys can liberate us from that, We'll be more than happy. I'm sure every Nigerian will be celebrating you. But
I
let's
can
come to
assure you.
the let's come to the Edo State elections, which is just around the corner. You have the candidate, a very handsome guy like you, and that's what I say. I'm wondering that is this guys, what are you guys planning? Only to bring only handsome guests on show. Look at this handsome guy. His name is Dr.
Oberafodo.
Yes. He's your candidate, all right, for the governorship election. Tell us a little bit about him. Let's know him. I know I won't have one-on-one with him, but at least tell us a little bit about this guy, Dr. Oberafodo.
Udo.
Yeah.
Oberafodo, like the name implied, Udo means a stone in Edo language.
Kuta.
Udo means a stone.
Yes.
Yeah. And I believe that his name has, given little introduction about him. But let me stress more on it. Udo Oberafo is a visionary leader, the youngest candidate in the Edo 2024 election.
Okay.
He's 37 years old.
Wow.
The youngest in the race, and the most visionary among all of them, going by their manifestos. Udo is from Emo in Ubiaja. Emo is an Esan tribe. Hails from Emu, Ubiaja.
Okay.
That is Esan Central.
Yes.
Yeah. Udo is a very great gentleman who has done well in the area of humanitarian. Some of you are not aware, our campaign strategy is humanity first.
Okay.
Humanity first. So Udo brought about the word humanity first. And Udo is a businessman, an international business mogul, an entrepreneur who has also done well in the area of human capital development, who is also into real estate. I think Udo is very oriented and ready to serve the Edo people when given the opportunity, when voted.
Yes. Okay. So that brings me to the but before we continue, let me just quickly bring my colleagues in. Mary, all the way from Abuja. Mary, you are welcome to the show. So you join us. Thank you for joining us, Mary. Yes. Yes, I'm here with Dr. Hafiz Lawal. He's the campaign director of the AAC, the African Action Congress. They are the one. They are having time with us today. And yes, back to you, Doctor. Now, what should the Edo people expect if your candidate happens to get into the office of the governor of Edo State? What are our expectations?
Thank you. Udo Berifo and the party AAC, like I said, it has the best manifesto, the People's Manifesto, that we call it. Udo is ready to touch down Edo and make Edo a hub for development, for developmental strides. Udo is set to change the fortune of this state, Edo, and turn it to a global, a place for trade and entertainment and what have you. I think these are trade and entertainment is what will interest the rest of the world to visit Edo, to come and invest in Edo. I'm not talking about the rest of the things that will benefit those in Edo State. Yes. I'm talking about the things that will benefit those outside the state that will make it make the people come to Edo State to invest to increase our AGRO to 100%. So Udo is ready. We have our manifesto is very broad and wide, but simple.
All right. So
Yes.
let me put it this way. So I'm going to make this question. I'm going to ask a simple question too.
Okay.
We are hungry. We in Edo
Okay.
State, we want food on the table.
Yes.
Okay. How is your candidate planning to make sure there's food sufficiency in Edo State should he become the governor? Let's start 1 and 2 so that we can follow it. What's the plan on the table? It's not the speculation, yes, but what's the plan? What's the real plan? What research has been done? If I become the governor, this and this I'm going to do.
Very well. I want to say that Edo was once the food basket of Nigeria, of the nation.
Yes.
Yeah. Edo used to have the biggest agricultural reform in the country, where even Edo used to have a link with the West Africa and the rest of the world. We were known for cocoa, we were known for cassava, we were known for rice, we were known for rubber, we were known for so many agricultural produces.
I grew up eating one special yam from Edo State.
Now, yes, exactly. Even yam,
the yellow yam.
Yeah, granite. Auchi has the best granite.
Yes.
Yes. So you can see even fruits in Edo Central, where my candidate came from. That is the fruit basket of the South Nigeria. Edo Central. Everyone can knows this. Edo Central has the best fruit, watermelon, name it, anything, any fruit you're thinking, aside apple. So I think we can return back to these days where agriculture used to be the symbol of development. It's a symbol for progress and prosperity of any positive driven state like Nigeria. First, we want to invest in agriculture, that we see that Edo people, there is food sufficient in Edo State, and even at the tentacles of Edo. So we want to have agricultural reform. The former settings needs to be visited. What happened to Edo agro schemes? What happened to our women who goes to farm? This is a thing of the past now, because one, there is no security in our farms. If there was security in our farms, in our forests, the situation would have been, a bit better. But as we speak, our women can no longer go to farm. Our youth can no longer go to farm. Nobody is in farm. We are buying food. This is one of the things that has completely rubbished the situation for us here in Edo, where insecurity is the order of the day. And I can assure you that my candidate is ready to pump billions of naira into agriculture to make sure that there is food sufficiency in the state, where we are going to touch down the area of security and make our farms so safe for farmers and investors generally.
All right. Yes, and I thank you very much for that understanding of the geology of Edo State. Let me put it that way. That you're reaching all these resources. The thing is there. Over the years, people are not going to. We are not. In fact, currently we go to bed hungry in the whole in the state, which used to be the food basket of the nation. My question is, how are we going to turn? I know you talk about the security challenges that will send people to farm. The old people farming is still not the way forward in the 21st century, because in the 21st century, the farming my forefather did with hoes and cutlasses cannot meet the demand of this Android generation. So we need to have a robust farming strategy. My question is, what strategy does your candidate have in place? Should they become the governor? So that, say, if I get to office today, this is what I'm going to do to make sure I don't move into food sufficiency. That's exactly what are the basic strategy put on paper.
Yeah. Okay. There is agro schemes that my candidate is planning to put on board. An agro scheme. That agro scheme is going to, tractorize the whole of the farming, plans of the Edo people, most especially the young people. It is this part of the world. This time is not the time to take hoes, to carry hoes to the farm, cutlasses to the farm. There are the plans that we are going to tractorize our farms. Before we talk about, having food sufficiency, we need to have a kind of tractorized means to farming. It is not just by hand, using hand hoes and the rest, just like our forefathers. Yes, you can have the government's set of schemes to help farmers, in every nooks and cranny of the state, those who want to farm. Everyone wants to farm because farming is one of the most important thing to Nigerian, people. Only that over time, we have been abandoned. Nigerian farmers have been abandoned. So if we have a tractorized process that can, enhance our farmers to improve, to have a prompt, farming system. It is not just the whole. We want to pump money into agriculture. We want to spend money into buying tractors, farm facilities, farm tools, farm machines to help farmers. That is why I said we have an agro scheme that is, set up to empower women, to empower youths, to create income for local farmers across the states.
All right. So I know we're getting a lot of questions on the platform, so I'm trying to just share some with you. But let me ask one question. That's the question I wanted to ask at the beginning. I look at your campaign, and I was a little bit concerned, and you've addressed that. So I want to ask this, and sincerely, is your candidate convinced that he's going to win this election? You see, because for you to do something, you have to have that self-belief that I am going to be the governor of Edo State come 2024. Come October, I'll be in September, on Sunday, I'll be celebrating victory. Does he have that conviction? And do you have that conviction as well? Can you hear me, sir? Doctor?
The network was kind of breaking for you. Okay, I think it's from your side.
Yes, I asked the question is, does your candidate have the conviction that come Sunday, he's going to win the election in Edo State, or he's just trying to throw net in the water? Because that's in terms of... Yes. Is he convinced? Are you convinced that you guys are going to be the governor? That you're going to win the election?
Yes, I'm convinced that AAC will carry the day, because first, we have been able to tell Edo people this is what we want to do for Edo people. We want to liberate Edo State. It is not just the normal road, they want to do gutter. No, that's not the approach. Edo State should be bigger than that.
The reason I ask that question is, my question will be, to what extent has your candidate gone around the people of Edo State to say this message you're telling me now, that hey, we can make Edo better. We are the party of change. We are the one to liberate you from where you are. Yes, it's good. If I conceive the idea, I need to share the idea with the people. And like I said, everything is about the people. And once the people buy the idea, they will follow. And if you tell Nigerian people, I put it this way, On Sunday, we go to church. A pastor preaches. In fact, somebody preached to us. That's why we go to church on Sunday. And when we go to church on Sunday, a pastor will talk to us and we put our hands in our pocket and we'll drop money. So we go for good things if you convince us. The question I ask now is, how have your campaign really gone around Edo people to tell them this is what we have for you?
Thank you. Edo State has 192 wards. 192 wards. We have visited not completely the whole 192 wards. We have visited nothing less than 130 wards. And I believe that, the candidate has visited 133 wards. And so I can say that the places that were visited, the messages was clear. The messages was clear. And we have visited senatorial district, we have visited local governments, and I believe we have about 75% Edo people, to have, listened to us. Edo people have listened to us. We are in the TV, we are on ground at grassroots. We have been able to put our manifesto to the people to tell them this is what we want to do for you. Even if we don't have the mass resources that the other political party has, I can say that we have the best manifesto. We are set. We are the most ready political party. My candidate is the most ready candidate for this 2024 Edo State election, and we are ready to liberate Edo people. Going by our manifesto, if I am to allow to state to trade about my manifesto, you will see that the manifesto of other political parties, we have nothing to write home.
Yes.
So I can assure that on Saturday we are going to win this election, except Edo people want to throw it away this time again.
No, I don't think Edo people will be responsible. I always say, sir, when we were taught in political schools, they tell us the first thing is to win elections. And to win the election is to devise a campaign strategy that will win you the election. That is the first thing we do, because without winning the election, you cannot make the change. So no matter how hard or how ugly politics can be, the first thing we teach people is try and win election. And to win election, you have a robust campaign. And sometimes we see that to be lacking, especially because I'm interested in this guy because he's the youngest among all, and I would expect him to come up with a better force. This is the G age. The internet is very good. He can actually be talking to Edo people from his home. Every old woman these days, they have mobile phones, and I've not really seen that. Maybe I'm not aware.
He's the youngest, that Chris.
Huh?
He's the youngest among them.
Yeah, he's the youngest, and that means there's a big hope, there's a big chance with him. And sometimes the young people tend to lose it before the election by not believing in themselves. And actually, no, like I always say, Doctor, if people go to church on Sunday, they're gonna drop money if to God that is not there. Even when we see the pastors getting richer, we still drop money because we believe it's for a good cause. And if this young man tell us in Edo State that if I become governor, I'm going to change your life, I'm going to liberate you. Look at where they've been. We will contribute to his campaign. He doesn't need to give us money. We know that we are not really that. How do you put it? We're not that stupid, because we know that even if you give us money, it's not going to feed us tomorrow. These are messages a young man like him should be selling to us. But that's why I was trying to know how far this has been done. I wouldn't know the extent of the campaign. They just say, and it's shipping, and that was one of my major concerns. From the news reaching me here now, they said of the 192 words that is going to, which is something I'm going to take a question from the platform. He said the question is from the 192 words, right? You see, sometimes our most reverend candidates or the most qualified young candidates might not even be able to clinch on one when he has all the power to do better. You understand? And it hurts deeply. I take on this interview because I believe in the young people can do things and they can do it. and especially in this age.
Unfortunately, young people, I don't know, but I'll put it like this: looks like young people don't really have that opportunity, right, to win election most times. It looks like the elderly ones mostly emerge to be the winner.
Yeah,
But
let's see what happens. Yeah.
the question is, what measures are these young people really putting in place? Because you understand that it looks like the elderly ones understand this politics game very well. You understand the things to do, right? So it's not looking as if the younger ones do not really have the opportunity to emerge winners.
And
So,
you people have more power than us. This is the thing, Mary. Young people are more powerful than us. Where can we run to?
I can see that it's
the day of the election is the young people that will win the election for us.
So I wanted to say, what measures, right, have they been able to put in place to make their own unique, to make their own different? Because I know fully well that almost all of them will definitely visit all the words, right? They might even visit maybe 2-3 times to go back to see how they can convince them. But what are you telling these people? What are you telling them? Are you trying to tell them that you give them money? Is palliative going to solve the problem in the state? What are the things you want to say? You want to tell them, right, in your manifesto that will make a difference, that will convince them to say, okay, this is really, really the party that wants it, that I'll actually give my vote to. And this is the question I want to ask to Dr. Hafiz Lawa.
Yes. Doctor is here.
Let me say here. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you. Loud, yeah.
Okay, let me state here that, like I earlier said when we started, my party is a different political party.
Yes.
A party that is cannot be compared to any other political party. We have our ideology. Good. And our ideology, we are not doing it the way others are doing it. We have a different ball game entirely, except Nigerians or Edo people are not ready. Let me tell you, we have done campaigns. We have visited local governments. We have visited different local governments. And I can assure you that we have been well received. And you see, you have other political parties, buying membership.
Unfortunately, Doctor will be back. We'll have Doctor back. And I almost agree with Doctor. I'm agreeing with him here that, to be honest, I don't believe even walking around the 36 or the 192 words physically anymore. But there are strategies these days. In those days, before I could talk to my mom, I have to write a letter, to them. You understand? Later will take ages. Today now, I can talk to my mom and I'll see her on video. These were not possible in those days. You understand? So the world has moved. So campaign of the modern generation cannot be the same as the old. But I expected that they would have come up with something more unique so that their campaign will be more effective.
You know that, just like you said, that now you can actually stay in your place, right, and talk to people on phone. But there is this thing that I would say, people see it as if I walk up to you, right, for something, you see it as if I respect you that more. I don't know how to put it. Like, let me say, for example, that if I want to invite you on something, do you know that it's not on every invite that I will call you on phone or send you a text? So you guarantee me to like come meet you face to face. I know what I'm saying. These people have elders in their village, right? That will not actually see you calling them on phone as you paying them respect or come face to face. You understand? Tell them what you really want. This is what they see as respect.
But maybe the problem here is we may not all have the same amount of money for a campaign. So, and the people are not stupid either. If they know that this is the party that will liberate us, like Riley said, I'm sure people will vote for them. My concern is how is the message filtering to these people who are going to do the vote? It's not a decrease. The people you need to get to them. By Malcolm X said, by all means necessary. You need to get to these people. That was the question I was trying to ask. I'm not criticizing the campaign. I'm sure they have done their own bit, but it would have been more today to see the youngest candidate being the most popular, because that is how it's supposed to be, because young people should be running along. It should be able to carry the young people along, and the young people do the campaign. I remember the days of Peter won that election. That is exactly what I want to say. Peter won Edo State without even being there. You understand? The message filtered down, and he won. So these are the things we talk about. So we need a structure, but the structure doesn't have to be as robust as the big one to defeat them. That's exactly what I say. Labour does not have the structure that APC and PDP had in Edo State to have won that election. So I know they can do that. I'm sure AAC is about to pull something. They're about to pull the string. So, Doctor, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes, Doctor.
Like I was saying, yes. Can I go ahead, please?
Go on, go on.
Okay. Like I was saying, we may have our own ideology, the way we operate. You see, we have watched, we have instances where, the rest of the political parties are inducing members. Today you see them sharing rice, today you see them sharing money, today you see them sharing beans. We are not concerned about that.
Yes.
But our concern is hours to the election and the election day. Yes. The only one of the things that poses threats to our victory come Saturday is the issue of inducement, where we have most of all these popular political parties inducing members, inducing voters, right at the collation centers. We have had instances in 2023. We had evidences, but you can see where the situation has gotten to, where people collect money to vote. The highest bidder. That is what is going on as I speak. And I can assure you, if you bring me back to this show, if you bring me back to this show after the election, yes, I can assure you that I'll post evidences to you to tell you how Edo people are being induced to vote. I think that is the only threat to our victory come Saturday, 2020, Saturday 25th.
Yes, Doctor, there's a saying that the problem is half solved when it is identified.
Yes.
Now that you know that they're going to induce this election, what are you doing about it to make sure that is not, that you're able to overcome that and come victorious?
Because we didn't just sit back. If we start to or no situation will change, right? But when there's actions, you can actually change a lot of things. If you know this, what are the things you really want to do to put a stop to it?
We have written to the INEC. We have written to the police. We've written to the government to tell them our threat. And most time when we make this, complaints, we are not taking serious. Like I said, our party, we have a way we are doing things. We always want to come with evidence, even if our party is a party of revolutionaries. Does not mean that we are fighters anyway, but we are diplomatic fighters.
You use the instrument of
on that election day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on that election day, we are going to be getting evidences to tell the whole world, how the popular parties that are so called, how they have bastardized our elections. On Saturdays, we'll get evidences. We cannot fight because the structures are working with them.
Yes,
the structures are working with them.
Let me put it this way. I always say this is one problem in Nigeria. I have been able to come to understand. And yes, people hold on to power, and they hold on to it. Oh, I got to quote Erufai. He said, nobody will give you power, you take it. Now let me go to the Bible.
It's not willfully, it's demanded, yeah.
Yes, you demand. And let me use the Bible. There were instances where the children of Israel were in bondage. They were in trouble. And God, for those of you that believe, or for those of us that believe, God did not say, you king that have the power, die. You know what God did? God devised a strategy. In some cases, God even used women. There were two instances in the Bible where Esther and Ruth was used to influence the king so that the children of Israel will get their way. So it was not done by miracle. It was done by a strategy that even God have to use a strategic woman to get that change. My question is really to political parties or people crying or young people in general is, yes, you want to have a change. And these people, they're not going to give it to you. What is the strategy we are having to make sure we're able to connect them and get what we want? It has to come. There will be a way out. If we sit down, there's a way you can twist the old man. Old man go to sleep. Children go take what they want. What are you guys doing about it? That's exactly. I'm saying this question to you. I'm saying it to Mary, and I'm saying to the entire young Nigerians. No, yes, the power is with us, old people. What are you people doing to take it from us? We're not going to give it to you like that. Nobody give it to you. You take it. How are we going to do that? So let's start with your candidate. How are you planning to do this?
Our plans.
Yes.
How are we going to do that?
Yes.
That's the question.
Yes. Yes. I
said we are starting.
Go on.
Yes, like I said, we are starting with Edo State. You see, we have been able to, organize symposiums. We have gone out to the streets to tell people this is what it is. The people are aware.
Yes.
The people are aware.
Mm-hmm.
The people are aware that the state is in comatose, is a complete, a shutdown, which needs, emergency, which needs emergency, state of emergency on so many areas. Governance generally.
Yes.
And our process is unique, like I said.
Yes.
We are the ones coming out to tell people.
That's what I want us to get at. You see, me, I want to see change. And every single Nigerians want to see change. And every single Nigerian know there's a problem in the system. Perhaps what we don't have yet is a solution to our problem. And I was thinking that now that we know that the power is being taken and it's still within the hands of the very few who will let it go, what are we doing to take it from there? Because they're not going to give it to us. And it's frustrating when I can understand where you are and we're all in the same position thinking, oh, okay, every Nigerian today you talk to them now, oh, Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. Then I ask, what's the way forward? So, and the way forward is always, it's going to be, let me take you back to the civil rights movement in the United States. Black people were not allowed to vote. We were like second-class citizens in the United States. You know how many things happen. We come up with different people came up with different revolutions until we get to where we are today. It didn't come for free. Many blood were lost. In fact, Martin Luther King died, Malcolm X, all of them came, all in the struggle to liberate the black man. If I don't know whether we've been actually liberated completely, but at least we are better where we are now, And I said, so exactly, so this is exactly where we find ourselves in our own land. It's in Nigeria, but we are caged, like you rightly said. We need to be liberated.
Like I said, like we believe. Sorry to cut words.
Yeah.
Are you there, please?
I'm with you. I can hear you, sir.
Yes. Sorry to cut words, please. Are you there, please? Can I go ahead?
Go on. Go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. Like I said, like we believe, ballots is solely an alternative to Nigeria's liberation. The ballot, with the ballot, it will be difficult to liberate Nigeria through the ballots. It will be difficult to have a ballot revolution, where Nigerians or Edo State, let me put it, where Edo people will converge and say no to these, behemoths in power.
Yes.
It is very hard, it will be very difficult. Yeah. Our party is a revolutionary movement that, do not solely believe in elections. We believe in the people The
Yes.
people must speak. That may
Yes.
not be through the ballot. That's why I said our party is a revolutionary movement.
Okay.
So ballot is solely an alternative to the
Okay.
liberation of Nigeria. And
Okay.
as we speak, the ballot has been bastardized. The ballot has been corrupted.
Doctor,
The ballot has been
doctor,
encrypted.
I agree with you. I like this. So if your party, I don't want to be calling it a party there. If your movement, all right, if your
Yes.
movement is out to liberate through this revolution, would it not be fair or be more sincere to yourself to call yourself a movement and rather than setting up a political party then and stick to the movement of change? Because these elections is not, you don't have, you know that you're not going to be able to defeat them through this election. That's what you're telling us. So why don't you stick to the strategy you know will be most suitable for you to achieve your mission? We all need a change, and I'm so happy you're identifying them. But why are we not keeping to that thing that you believe will be a solution? For instance, I remember having somebody on this on the show here, and he said young people should be on the street and they should remain there. You understand? People will die, they should remain until the change will come. It will come. You understand? If they stay, if Nigerians will come out, or if somebody, a good pastor, I always say to the pastors, they are able to put on a lot of congregation collecting money from them. If they convince Nigerians to sit on the street for days and tell our leaders this is what they want, the leaders will listen. They will listen. You understand? Maybe one of the strategies might be to come out, another strategy through elections. So I'm going to ask you simply now, how many strategies do you guys have in place in your movement? So the AAC is one of them to win the election in Edo State. How many strategies? It'd be nice, it'd be interesting to take this. Though
Okay.
it's unfair that we are talking about the election in Edo State, and I am sorry that I take this a little bit out of context here, but I enjoy. The moment I heard AAC, I was thinking of the liberation of the African continent and perhaps my liberation as a black man, which goes beyond Nigeria. And that is why I was saying, oh, we're going to talk about this and not really touching on Edo in full. So I apologize for this.
Okay, sir. Let me state here that we have a movement and we have a political party.
Okay.
And our movement is Take It Back movement.
All right.
Take It Back movement is the most common, is the most popular movement in the whole of the country. That is led by our amiable, dogged, revolutionary, visionary leader, Omoyele Sowore.
Okay.
Yes, so our movement has disrupted the political space in recent years. And you can agree with me that our movement has also touched, is one of the organizers of the recent End Bad Governance in Nigeria. And we have another one slated for October 1st. And we want to make that October 1st a point of liberation for the Nigerian people, for Nigerians to troop out and demand, governance, real governance. Now back to Edo State.
Good.
We have a political party. Like a political party, you're a political party does not mean that you can question the status quo.
No.
That you must have another movement outside political party. Our political party is a revolutionary one that can, also disrupt process. Our party has come out to protest. Our party has come out to ask questions. We are the only ones asking questions. We are the only movement, a party that is not just, made for elections. Our party is also made to ask questions.
Right.
So you see, our party is a political party, and one of the functions of a political party is to run for elections.
Yes.
This is why we are on the ballot. And we believe that the message has been given to Edo people. Edo people believe and they know the difference. They are tired of the old folks. They are tired of the common, popular, corruptible, preached political parties like PDP and APC. We are tired. Edo people are tired. And I believe that on Saturday, the Edo people, like I know, to be very dogged, they are going to make a very positive decision to elect an electable leader that will oversee the affairs of the state from November.
Thank you very much. You've been amazing, because I agree with you. And to be fair, this is it gives us a better understanding what AAC stands for. It's a movement. And also, you cannot just be protesting and protesting without actually trying to get people to power to make the real change. And that is what they're doing with this political party. I agree with them. And the question is, to what extent they've been able to do that. It's not going to be a day movement. It's going to take years and years. Buhari lost the election a couple of times. He has won. He has served and go. So yes, I always encourage people to stick to their mission, and it will yield off, because that's how God. The only change that will come is only when we start it, and God will bless it. So let's go. I want to stick to this first, because I'm going to come back to your overall strategy, which is one of the things I was saying, that as a, let's talk about your candidate first in Edo State before we come to your overall. My question is, what has your candidate done in his humanitarian effort, if it's humanity first, before now, that to tell us that this is, because anything you believe in, you'll be doing it, whether you get to power or not. And that is some of the things I'm going to take it to the national level. And just to be clear, I am one of the biggest opponents of Peter Obi right now. You know what? Why? Because I believe that you don't need to get to power to make a change. There are some changes done by pastors these days. They didn't need to become governors before they made changes. So as a presidential candidate, Peter had a lot of influence. He could have set up some movement. Like I said, Peter said, oh, I want to set up a Nigerian airline to support, to make sure that airline is no more a challenge to Nigerians. Without being president, he could have done it, and he still have the chance to do so. So that is how I see people in power, or people who are fighting, who are trying to make changes. They do it not before they get to power. Unfortunately, that is how we see it. So my question is, what has your candidate done before now to show that this thing is a thing that he wanted to do, he wanted to see happen? What has he done to this effect?
Okay, thank you. Our candidate, Obere Odo, is an activist.
All right.
Is an activist, a businessman, a visionary leader. Our candidate has, assisted the Edo people tremendously. Go to Esaland. You have Udo Oberaifo, our candidate, who has supported Edo Central people, who has supported their education. We have evidence to that effect. Has sent, writing materials and study materials to most of the schools in Edo Central and some in Edo North. Oberaifo Udo has also, given scholarship to so many students from Edo, and has sponsored so many, Edo persons. So many Edo persons. Are you there, please?
I'm with you.
Yeah, has sponsored so many, Edo persons in the area of education. We have video and pictorial evidence to that effect. That is one. Udo has also touched down the area of pipe-borne water, borehole waters. Udo has so many boreholes, given to most especially people from Edo Central. I think charity, they said, begins at home.
Yes.
Has done tremendously well in assisting the people, the village, the community, and other part of Edo Central to have pipe-borne water. He has given them boreholes.
Yes.
He has given them clean water.
With his personal money.
With his personal money.
See, okay. And sometimes I'm the man that is hard to please. Let me ask this way, all right? A leader is not expected to, a good businessman. Today, if you People that are motivational speakers will tell us, oh, it's one thing to start your own business. You know, you're a craftsman, you begin to feast, you're a lawyer, so you begin to set up law firm. You're a lawyer, you begin to practice, you're a lawyer, you started, you're a businessman. You are a smart businessman when you set up a law firm, and you are employ lawyers to work with you. But you are a super smart businessman if you make law firms work for you. So this is how I am thinking. As a leader is somebody that will set up, will make people to work for him. My question is, which is something I'm hoping to see anyway, is how do our leaders, or what are the strategies to be that super smart leader to make people work for their vision? Let me put it this way. If your leader, this young guy here who's spending his money to build Weho, my question is, does he have an NGO to do that? Or what project has he done to bring 10 NGOs together to do this? Because this is how a smart leader will do. Only me, I will not be able to make the impact. The job will be overwhelming on me. But if I put, all I need to do is write letter to 20 NGOs and say, let's just come together and make this change. That is what leadership is really all about. A leader is not supposed to raise all the money or do all the things. So that brings me the question is, when I say, what has he done? It's a very deep question for me. So I really want to ask, what is he doing to get that happen in Edo State? Or has he done it before? Because
Okay,
these are the leadership we want him to bring on board. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Udo has an NGO.
Okay.
Udo is his NGO is he has two NGOs. One of his NGO is Edo Arise Initiative. He's the founder of Edo Arise Initiative. And after this show, you can Google Edo Arise Initiative. Has assisted Edo people in so many areas to get jobs, to get small, medium, enterprises to improve in their businesses, to empower women, to empower the young people, the youth across Edo State. Udo is the founder of Edo Arise Initiative.
Wonderful.
That was the movement, an NGO that has touched the lives of so many Edo persons. So when I say his personal money, of course, his money plays one of the role.
Yes.
Plays the role because he is the founder of this initiative that has touched the lives of Edo people.
Yes. Yeah, I want to thank you for that. So that brings us to thank you, Dr. Uzo. Uzo means rock. So let's use the word Dr. Rock. I want to call him Dr. Rock because that is what he stands for. All right. All right. We're, for those of you just joining us, we are in with Dr. Hafiz Lawal. Is the campaign director for the AAC Edo State, and he's been doing a lot of justice, telling us here what this movement stand for, which is the AAC movement, the Pan-African movement, trying to liberate the Black world, and they're using Nigeria as a case study, which I quite find interesting. And they are really, you would not tell me that you've never heard of Sowore. They're doing their best. Actually, you might not agree with all the things Sowore done, but you will agree with me that he's one guy that's been able to stand up, say, hey, we don't want this. Something should be done, and he's doing something about it. How he goes about it might not be how you want it, but if everybody were doing what he's doing, maybe Nigeria would be different today. Maybe. Well, that's a question. So that's something that we want to do. But let's quickly go on a very small break. When we come back, we're going to continue with Dr. Lawal to talk more. We're going to focus now zero because the election, our debate things have been a little bit outside. We're going to look into Edo State. For the Edo man who is at home thinking, who am I going to vote for? I'm going to ask him questions that will touch the heart, and perhaps he will be able to answer those questions the people in Edo State have. And if you are from Edo State and you have any question, this is the right time to throw it out there, and I put it to Dr. Hafiz. That's why we're here, to share thought with you, to plan with you, and to convince you to vote for the AAC by Saturday. Hopefully, when they win the election, Edo State will be liberated, according to Dr.
Very
Hafiz.
well.
Go on a quick
Very
break.
well.
When we come back, we'll take it from there. Don't go away. Stay with us.
Find your sanctuary in the heart of the city. Live the life you deserve in an exquisite apartment. SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment, Lagos, is a place where your comfort is rest assured. Welcome to SRTV Shortlet Apartment, part of the prestigious SRTV Real Estate family. Why choose us? Prime location, nestled in the heart of Lagos, close to key attractions, business hubs, and vibrant nightlife. Modern interiors, fully furnished, stylish apartments designed to provide the ultimate comfort. Luxury redefined, vacation perfected. 247 security. Enjoy peace of mind with round-the-clock security and CCTV surveillance. Top-notch amenities, high-speed Wi-Fi, smart TV, air conditioning, fully equipped kitchen, and lots more. Perfect for business travelers, family vacations, romantic getaways, special events, and more. Book your stay today and experience Lagos like never before. Call +234 8143 582856 or +447 4388 93190, or email us at realestate@superiorradioandtelevision.com. SRTV Shortlet Apartment, where comfort meets luxury.
Welcome back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, my guest today is Dr. Hafiz Lawal. He is the campaign director general for the AAC, that is African Action Congress, in the Edo gubernatorial election that is taking place this Saturday. Robin Minds, his candidate is Dr. Udo. I call
Udo
him
Berak.
Yes. He's a rock. He's an activist as well. He's a humanitarian guy. He has done a lot. You heard him saying that all Udo has been doing. He has his own NGO and he has been trying to touch life. His campaign is that humanity should be first. And we've been looking at that together. And right now, like I said, I did a question already, which is that people were hungry and still hungry in Edo State. I'm going to make it more broad now. I'm back to you, Dr. Hafiz. And my question now is, Edo State is bigger than Benin Republic. In fact, Benin get their name from the same Edo State, historically. All right? And Dahomey, the part where you come from, all these things are things we know, all right, that from that Benin Republic. So you are bigger, richer than Benin Republic. So meaning you could be a country. How are you planning to run Edo independently? Should the federal government is failing, that Edo don't have to fail? In other words, how are you going to grow the wealth of Edo State to be independent of the little allocation coming from the federal? What's your
Thank you for that question. I can say that, I can repeat that Edo is the richest state in the country, in Nigeria.
Okay.
With vast natural resources. Edo is the richest, state in the country, because our natural resources cut across, solid mineral, like limestones, lithium. You are rich in lithium, even oil. We have, rubber, agric. Edo State is one of the richest states in the country.
Okay.
And I believe that if Edo has a leader, someone who is visionary, who is well oriented, who is disciplined.
We are with you.
We have, these natural resources that can sustain the life, the economy of the state, that can generate the IGR for Edo State. Least, I can assure you that the resources that Edo State has is enough to take Edo State to number one IGR, in the state, the highest IGR in the country. That is Edo. Edo is supposed to be an industrial hub that is propelling other neighboring states, not just Edo. So we are supposed to be self-sufficient. When you bring in agric, you introduce entertainment, you introduce so many other schemes that
Doctor, sorry to cut you. I'm sure all these things you say now, you are well articulating in your candidates' manifestos or in his agenda.
They are in his manifesto.
Okay. All right.
His agenda.
Yeah, because a lot of questions are popping up, and I know we don't have so much time. So I'm going to ask the questions from the people watching us. All right. One of the questions is said, I should please ask Dr. Lawal which local government area is governed by his Revolutionary Party. That is the question. If somebody OP Crypto
Come again, please.
Okay. He said, which local government area is governed by your party at the moment? I mean, in other words, have you won a local government since the movement?
You mean in Nigeria or in Edo State?
As a whole, or even if it could be in Edo State or in Nigeria, do we have any local government governed by this movement?
We don't have any local government governed by Edo State. Do we have elections? Have we had elections?
That's a question.
We're supposed to have so many local government governed by the party in the state. You saw our last Edo State election. You saw what happened. Yes. How they wrote election results and brought in PDP loyalists. So is that the election you want us to lead? Okay. We are not. We are not ripe for that.
All right, good.
So
that's a good answer to a very difficult question. I think so. Then another question here is because I'm reading what our viewers are saying. He said, Sowore once said, I think last year, that his goal for AAC is not only to rule, but also to phase out major political parties in Nigeria creating problems. But if I may ask, what has he done since then?
Okay, thank you so much for that. You see, our drive to revolutionize the country has not stopped. We have not stopped in any way. We, as a matter of fact, led by Sowore, we have not gone into hiding. We are not at the backyard. We are always at the people's faces. We are always engaging the people. I think engagement, coming around, strategizing, agitating, is one of the things that we have done fantastically well to unsettle the bigger political parties on board, the corruptible parties, like we call them. I think we have not rested. Any state in Nigeria as a whole will attest to the fact that the TIB, which is our movement, has disrupted, our processes that are not people's processes, that are anti-people's processes. So Edo is an example. The TIB, Edo, which I'm the coordinator of TIB, I'm the coordinator of TIB Edo State. We have disrupted the processes in Edo State. Anti-people's processes. We have asked the state questions. We have agitated. We have protested. We have organized. So that alone is enough. It is not more than enough to the other corrupt political parties or states led by members of the parties.
I agree, and we have to give you credit for that. Because I said for evil to exist, righteous men are busy doing nothing. So there's no way evil can exist if righteous men get up and fight. Not when I say fight, not physical, not even with there's a brilliant revolution you can do. And brilliant revolution is actually educating the people on your mission. But the biggest power, in those days when my parents were correcting us, my father wouldn't talk a lot. My mom would beat all of us, but my dad would just tell you something, and that thing will stick with you forever. So there's a way you achieve the two different way. My mom was using the Marshall system. But my dad would just say something and it's left for you to go and think about it. They were both changing, or they were affecting what they were doing, what they had to do. So it may come in different forms, which I'm not here to criticize any. We talk about corporal punishment and no corporal punishment. It's a debate for another day. But let's come back to where we were, Dr. Hafiz. This is very important. I disturbed your movement. I interrupted you when you were outlining the potentials of the Edo State and what if well harnessed, if I don't have a leader. So my question now is, what strategy again does your candidate have to tap on these enormous resources, human and natural resources in Edo State, to make sure Edo is independent of allocation, because they are looking for handouts? That we will not wait for handouts. We will make Edo State independent. Edo State will make money. Edo State will feed. We do that. What is your candidate's plan towards this?
That will return back to the previous question.
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, my manifesto is the best and the simplest manifesto in 2024, election. You can agree with me that youth and women makes up the most available people in any country or state.
Yes.
And Edo is not an exception. My candidate, the next governor of Edo State, by special grace, Governor Oberai for Odo, will have a kind of robust, involvement in the empowerment of our young people, of our women. When you have when you have an idle people, you have an idle a state where things will not work. My candidate is ready to create jobs that can, unseal Edo people, Edo youth and women. Our candidate is ready to improve in ICT and technological innovation.
Okay.
That is one of the things that our candidates will do. Our candidates will create jobs from our enormous resources here in Edo State.
Yeah, but I really want. Perhaps what I was looking for is that we have social scheme. We will be coming up with social scheme to create job. We'll be tapping on social scheme with social scheme. if I was thinking that it would be it has would have been well articulated because election is around the corner. So if he wins, it's few days from now. So those seats must have been in place. If I win, this is what I'll do. Yeah.
You're talking about jobs, please.
Yes. Yes.
Our candidates, like I said earlier on, our candidate is ready to create 30,000 local jobs for Edo people. And we are ready to also create not less than 100,000 jobs for the diasporans. How are we going to do this? First, we want to improve in education. We want to improve in education. We want to improve, to empower the Edo people. First, we intend to employ 100,000 teachers in the first 2 years in government. Education, that is the area I've just spoken about.
Yes.
Now, we want to, empower the young people into digital, transformation, ICT, and like I said, technological, innovation. We want to build digital hubs in the whole of the local governments of Edo State and invest in smart and city initiatives to ensure and to improve in communication. We want to improve in security. We want to employ 50,000. We want to have 50,000 security personnel to assist the states. That is in the area of vigilance, local vigilance.
Okay.
To improve in the security of our people by the assistance or the tutelage of the Nigerian police and the Nigerian army. That is too. They want to have improve in tourism and entertainment. Tourism, like we know, is one of the things that improve and generates IGR.
Yes.
For any state or for any country. Although today the entertainment, the tourism has completely collapsed. Now, what happened to the Benin Museum? What happened to Biaja Waterfalls? What happens to Sumorika Hills? What happens to Bela Caves? What happens to Ososo Hills? And so many other sites. What happened to Ikpoboka, our own Ikpoboka, a river that is supposed to be channeled for tourism, reasons that will generate and improve the IGR. So by these things put together, and not to accept a Greek, by these things put together, we can assure the people of Edo State that Edo will be self-reliant and self-sufficient for jobs, for food, and for any other thing that can propel Edo State and make Edo State a kind of a state where the people's state.
Wonderful.
Thank
you very much, Doctor. So I'm going to put it this way. I have one other question for you now that's coming from the platform. But let me put it this way. Make it very simple. What is your governor's candidate projection that the IGRO of Edo State will be? Because so we can hold him accountable for that. That after 1 year in office, what is he hoping to generate? I think because I said something and you agree with me that every state in the country, every state in Nigeria can generate their own economy independent of the federal. So if the federal is failing, you don't have to fail. A very good example, you mentioned something that I like. You mentioned something that I like. You talk about using our vigilante to solve solve our insecurity challenges, which I agree. If the federal government does not, if the law does not allow you to have your own state police, the law didn't stop you from having a vigilante setup, which can act as the job of the police. You understand? So you don't need to have a police to work. And exactly that. So my question, and that brings me now to the income generation. The law does not stop you from generating money. The governors, I'm talking to all of you. So I'm asking him, where would Edo State be in terms of IGRO after 1 year of doctor in office?
Udo Berefo.
Udo, sorry. Yeah, Dr. Udo Berefo in office. What would be expecting? Say by October 2025, where will the Edo IGRO be? What are we hoping to see?
Okay. Thank you. You see, like I said, Edo State is one of the richest states in the country. We have so many areas which I've touched: green economy, tourism, education, housing, another, renewal, water resources, so many areas like that. We intend to improve on that will propel Edo State. I cannot assure you, I cannot state the particular figure that the state that we should be expecting, as our involvement in the governance will, make history in Nigeria. And I can assure you, we will surpass places like Lagos in the IGRO, generation, because the Lagos State has no resources like Edo State. I can assure you of that. I cannot give a particular figure, but what I can assure you is Edo State will be, at the zenith of IGRO, the internally generated internal revenue generation.
Yes. Thank you very much, Doctor. I am really, and I think this is a lesson to the new generation, because you are the new generation, to be honest. Dr. Udo must be able to classify himself as the new generation, and the new generation definitely will be thinking of independence. And when you talk of independence, you can't be independent if you are depending on anybody for money. If the federal government cut off your money, then you are broke. So as a wise person, the first thing you do if you want to be independent is to feed yourself. And that is why it is important to have any governor thinking, okay, I'm going to tell the federal government, go to hell, I can feed myself, I can feed my people. In fact, that is when the federal government will begin to give you more money. Because when you begin to beg, they won't. But there's a question here. It might be taking us back with this question, but it's very important. So Dr. Udo says that his deputy, Lord Osunde, was a pioneer of the obedient movement in Edo State, in Edo. And we now know how the obedient movement went. They were massive. How come that we didn't see that kind of massive movement for Dr. Udo? Because, you understand, he pioneered it, he started it, the obedient movement was successful. How come that he's not been able to really push this kind of movement for himself? That's a question from Everything Lees. They're coming from the platform. Yeah. They are watching us.
Okay. Thank you. Sir Lord Sunday, our Edo State's next deputy governor, was one of the pioneer mobilizer of the obedient movement. You can agree with me, he was not the only pioneer. There are a lot of pioneers that pioneered the obedient movement in 2023 general elections that made it renowned across the state, and even went ahead as winning Edo in the last general elections. Lord Osunde was not the only member of that. And as a matter of fact, since he pulled out, we have had, a lot of obedient movements, leaving the party, leaving the mood of the Labour Party to join AAC. As we move, as we speak right now, Lord Sunday is working on the grassroots to win more members, to win more supporters to our own party. So he is not relenting. He is relentless, and he has his lights on across the state. Osunde has done well since he came to the party, and has won a lot of persons from the obedient movement. Even if it is difficult to pull persons out of the obedient movement, he was able to pull thousands of persons from the obedient movement, and they will also have their say in the Saturday's governorship election.
Dr. Hafiz, you're my man. So I'm going to put this to you. What would you say? So because when people know that, oh, these guys, they have a mission, the mission is good for us, but because of this and this, we can see them like others. And because of this and this is what they are strength, these are good at. So what would you say are your strengths and your limitation in this campaign, that you want the people of Edo to know that your intention is good, but these are your limitations or these are your strengths? What would that be? Or what are they?
Our strengths in this election, I can say, is a look at that gentleman, the Rock, the Udo. A look at Udo. Udo's manifesto, Udo's personality has sent message, has sent waves across the state. People are asking questions. And as a matter of fact, our strengths, even if other political parties, other candidates are tapping from the strengths, for the strengths that we have, I can also say that we also have weakness. Where we have strength, where our strength is his personality,
yeah,
and how our party has appeared clean, has appeared ready, has appeared to support the people in the area of the current maladministration that we are in the country. This is our strength, that our movement is a people-oriented, is the people's movement. This is our strength. That is our strength. That we are not a corruptible movement is a plus and an encouragement to those who intend to support us. Okay. Come Saturday, 21st September.
Any witness as we draw the show to an end?
We have, of course, we have witness. Of course, we do have witness. Our witness.
Okay.
Our witness.
Yes. Go.
Is the fact that we don't have the financial muscle that they have. Those people have stolen. Yes. Those people have meant. They have gotten money, even if we know some of them, they did clean businesses, but it is few, because no man will do clean business and throw money out. So this is the case of Edo in 2024.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hafiz Lawal. It's been wonderful having this an hour and 30 minutes with you. You've done well. I am proud of you, and I'm proud of your party more now. And I'm sure many more people who didn't know much about your movement are now aware. They now know more about the candidate. And I'm very sure Edo people will go to that place knowing that candidate is our own. It was our vote. So thank you for doing this. Any message you have for your voters, people of Edo State? Just very briefly.
Thank you. I have a message for Edo voters, and I have a message for Nigeria in general. My message for Edo voters, our voters, is to ensure that they come out to vote. They come peaceful. They came out without any rancor. They should not be threatened. They should, head to the ballot, to the voting point, and ensure that they cast their vote peacefully. And before they do so, they should take a look at the beavers. The beavers should not be reading any number before vote commences. As there may be an attempt to manipulate the election, Edo people should make sure that they ask questions. They request to see the beavers to be 0-0 before they commence election. They should not be intimidated. They should go and ensure they vote, they cast their votes to make sure that their vote counts. Come Saturday, I believe the Edo people, the decision of the Edo people, will be felt. So Edo people should go to the election without fear and vote AA.
Thank you very much, Doctor. You've been amazing. Thank you for honoring our invitation, and thank you for sharing your manifestos with us. The people have heard. That's what we do, and I'm sure they will do accordingly. I want to say this, and I agree with him. Edo people, you have to come out and vote and defend your vote. And I always say, I will vote. The process doesn't mean anything to me. What that means, you are an educated, you are a political illiterate, which is really stupidity of the highest order. An illiterate that cannot read and write is better than you if you are a political illiterate, because what will happen, an election will take place, a result will be announced. If you don't vote, you'll be counted among those who didn't vote. But a winner will emerge, and whatever that winner does will be binding on you. So please come out on Saturday and exercise your stake in Nigerian business, in Edo State business, by making sure you vote, and also stay there to make sure your vote counts. Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining me. And we'll have more time to share more on this again before the election or on the very day of the election. Thank you for making it to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure once again.
Thank you. So that's where we draw the curtain to this on this edition of today's countdown to Edo 2024. The message is loud and clear, and I'm quite impressed that a young man of that age is out there running an election. Now, whether you agree with his campaign or not, whether they're doing things right or not, but we must say that we want young people to come out and be part of the political process. And the only thing we can do at this point is to encourage the one that is out there. And I'm quite happy that they're not forcing us to get it done. They're using the means, one of the most civilized way of making a change, by saying, I'm going to get into power and I'm going to be governor and I'm going to make the things better. Perhaps that's one thing to do. Young people, one of the things you should do while you're closing down the street is also to come out, win power. They won't give it to you. Take it. Take it, not by only revolution, win election, and you can. I want to say this, that if a pastor, I can't stop that analysis. A pastor will come out and preach good news on Sunday, and you now put your hand in your pocket and put this in. I wish I'm going to end the show with Mary by asking Mary, why is Mary not wearing the most popular thing these days, Mary? We have something we should be hearing from you, Mary. Are you not choosing? I have this popular things that I am choosing. Why are you not hearing? I am choosing. I'm gonna
like,
put my own out tomorrow. Are you not choosing?
No, you want me to join everybody making money of the church.
I'm not making money of the church. I am choosing. It's not making money of the church. We are all choosing. At least that guy is giving a testimony. So we are doing all we can. No, but what I'm saying is, if people like the people can set up a church and people are coming out to say this, you know, and why do you think that if a young boy come and tell us how he's going to make a better Nigeria, that we will not contribute to his campaign? We will not only vote for him, we will contribute to his campaign. And that is the challenge. And that's the belief I want everybody to have. It's not true that you're going to win everybody with money. Peter almost won the election because he came out and he told us something. Peter was not sharing money. All right?
That's true.
Yeah, they were able to defeat him. But imagine if that thing was consistent. Like I said, these are things you to do. And my advice again to young people is, if you're going to run election, start it now. Start by doing something to show that this is really your mission. You know, like I said, Peter would have won the next election already if he had continued with the same momentum he started. Oh, they've taken the election. They've taken the power. We don't need the power. We don't need to be in Aso Rock to win. Now we're going to make the change. We're going to make the change. I'm going to set up first. Let's start with Nigerian Airways. We're going to have Nigerian Airways back under my control. Nigerians in the diaspora, we're going to have an airline that will take us around the world and at a good cost and for the pride of Nigeria. Nigerians would have contributed immensely to that business, and Peter would have been doing more, would have been making more impact than what he's going to do now. What is he going to do? Come back and tell us I've joined a new political party, vote for me? That is cheap. Peter would have brought out one, I'm just giving an instance. He would have bring in some powerful economic initiative that will carry people in the diaspora and people at home, that he's going to lead. You don't lead alone when you get to Aso Rock. And these are things we're saying. So get to Aso Rock is one of the missions, but starting your leadership now, young people, start it now. The best time to ever start anything is now. It's never too late. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Daddy Chris. Until tomorrow, I'll be here again with another candidate telling you what they have for Edo. Don't forget, the countdown to Edo 2024 continue. The election is on Saturday. Please, Edo people, go out and vote and make sure your vote counts. Bye. Until I see you tomorrow. Bye.
Looking for a home away from home in Abuja? Look no further than SRTV Shortlet Apartments. Our fully furnished apartments offers everything you need for a comfortable and relaxing stay. Unwind in spacious rooms with exquisite ambience. Cook delicious meals in our well-equipped kitchen and relax in our comfortable sitting rooms watching your favorite shows. And guess what? 247 Wi-Fi available. But that's not all. SRTV goes extra mile by providing a car to take you around town during your stay. No need to worry about navigating public transportation or hailing taxis. Explore Abuja at your own pace. Book your SRTV Shortlet apartment today and experience the perfect blend of comfort and convenience.
SRTV. Innovative content, global audience.